Hello, fifth grade. I hope you are all doing well. With the information that we just received a couple days ago about school being closed to the end of the year, it's going to be very interesting to see how we proceed with the science fair. Please check your email regarding updates about it and talk to your parents about this. But I do want to get our last information session out. This would be designing your display, which would be due May Ford. May, it should say 4th, but I'm just going to keep that in there because that's too funny. May Ford. All right. So please regard this information and use it when designing your display, which again is due May the Ford. All right. So you've got a topic. You've done the research. You've constructed a hypothesis. You've set up your procedures. You've done the experiment. You've done the analysis. Congratulations. You've made it to the show. It's time to display, dun, 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 and present. Can I get a woot woot? Thank you. Woot woot. All right. So most of you understand this is the crucial final step of the process, while others of you are saying like, why do I have to do this? Well, it's important because you need a visual representation of the entire project to share with an audience. All right, you need to share with your peers what you did. All right, share with me what you did. This is where you tell all of us what you learned, and you get to show off. You're the expert of what you did. You know this stuff perhaps even better than Mr. Gracie, but that's highly unlikely. Sorry. Now, you are the expert though, compared to your peers. You did this work, you did the research, you did the experiment. You know more about the stuff than most of your students. So if you organize it in the correct way, it can read like a newspaper. All right, so that's left to right. You kind of open it up and read it up, down, column by column, left to right. All right, so use font at least 16 points for reference. This font is at 27. This is a 16-point font. The title should be big and easily read from across the room and contains a chart graphical representation of your data. All right, once again, contains a chart representation of your data. Pictures are always encouraged. Follow these steps to be successful. Now, I'll show you an example shortly, and there's some links that I'll link to, so don't worry. I'm moving a little quickly, but I just don't want to take up too much of your time. So poster don'ts. Don't write your poster board by hand. Nobody wants to see your terrible handwriting. Well, some of you have really nice handwriting, but others of you, not so much. All right, do not write your poster board by hand. Do not use a chart that makes no sense, something that looks like this. My project on cheese. Cheese 1, some change, yellow. Then treated. There was a lot of it, mixed colors, and then you just throw lemon juice and apple brownness and looking fresh. That would make no sense whatsoever. Make sure your chart makes sense. Don't type in a font that is so small I would need a magnifying glass to see it. All right. Make sure you type in a font that is big enough to be seen. Do not jam your poster full of unnecessary pictures and illustrations. Your information needs to be clear and concise and should be easy to read. Don't forget to be organized. Don't let your poster look like this. I just love this poster so much. Well, I would hate it if you turned this in, but it's amazing. It's just Skittles amount. Question, what color Skittles is most prominent? Hypothesis, red will be the most. I guess they this was not a student of mine. Do not think that. But I don't even know what this project is. So don't worry. This is, don't fret about that. Then you'll get me virtually looking at you like this, this classic guy just looking at you like so confused. All right. So with all these rules, not sure what my poster should look like. All right, so it looks like this. So this is a trifold, typically 36 by 48. All right, your question's going to go on the left with the hypothesis next, then the background research. Then your big project title, your materials, procedure, and results. That's your main section right here. All right, your materials, procedure, and result. And then the conclusion and recommendations for next year. All right, the question is literally just your question that you asked. The hypothesis is just your hypothesis. The background research, you just summarize what you wrote down by hand. That's it. All right, just a couple paragraphs. You just summarize what you wrote. You can even rewrite what you wrote. All right, the project title, nice and big, whatever you called it. Material list that you wrote out. The procedures that you wrote out. The results that you did with your project. The conclusion, that's that big analyze results thing that I gave you a couple weeks ago. And then your recommendations for next year. That's where your letter to the 4th grade is. Look at that. It's almost like you wrote all of this stuff already. Okay, you guys have all this material already. You just have to type it up and glue it on and make it look pretty. All right, so you have all this stuff done. It's all coming together to be put on this poster board. All right, so these are some great examples. Again, I can't click on this or else it's going to boot me out of the recording. So look at those examples. I have a picture of the fifth grades from years past. I will post that picture as well for you guys to look at the poster examples so you can see everyone's poster example. You can move around. I have just group photos of everyone's posters. All right, so it's time to show what you know. Now, this is going to look a little different this year. Again, regard the email that I'm going to send to your parents. So I know when many of you hear a presentation, you're like, I'm just so nervous. Okay, I'm so nervous. I'm scared. All right, but don't fret. This is your project. Nobody else knows it like you do. All right, so presenting in front of the class will need to be 2 to 4 minutes in length. Do not go over 5 minutes. You'll explain your question, you wanted to answer your hypothesis, some background research, procedures, materials used, results, and recommendations. Finally, you'll be asked a few questions from either me or the class. You may make note cards, but it would be better for you to know it from memory. Now, your questions that you might have, I know, are going to be regarding probably the presentation, but again, please look at that email. I just wanted to make sure we hit that part. So congratulations, I will just put this in. And I know, oh, this feels so long ago. But you had your first session about choosing a question to answer on February 12th, 2020. All right, and now this is a completely different school year than we've ever had, but this is still the information. You've been working on it for a little over 2 months, which is 10 weeks, 70 days, 1,680 hours, 100,800. Wow, it's been a long time. 100,800 seconds, or oh, minutes. 100,800 minutes. 6,048,000 seconds. Wow, that took a lot longer than it should have to go through that. But you just have a little bit more to go. All right, thank you for all your hard work so far. You just got a little bit more to go. All right, once again, look at that email that I sent. Decide your next steps, and hopefully I get to see some great projects and presentations. Thanks for watching. Bye.